Gotta wind this up. What up? What up, sons? Boom. There we go. We gotta get this right, son. Boom. Let me lower this a little bit, man. This shit is like the sunshine. What up? What up, y'all? Yo, is this mic on? The light is on. Y'all can hear me? This is on. This thing. Yeah. Okay. I can't tell. There it is. Now it is. What up, Gorilla? You are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you very much. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Here we are, Friday Night Vibes. You know what it is. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Talk some shit. Bananas is in the building. What's up, homie? I do have a subject for tonight. Let's just wait till we accumulate some human beings and get to the thing. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, I've been saying it for a little bit now. Been talking about doing some shows, and it looks like shows are going to start getting booked. You know, we're sorting out some of the little fine details of me doing some live shows, and I don't want to say who's going to be a part of the tour package yet, but definitely things are getting sorted out and put into place. Yes, Gorilla, and hopefully I'll be able to, visit each and every one of you. Let's see how it all plays out, man. It'd be dope to be able to get to everybody's state or country or whatever, and to be able to meet and say what up and all of that stuff. It'd be really, really cool, man. But first things first, we got to just, we got to sort out the details of the actual situation. So that, yeah, that's what's up, girl. Remember, I gotta work though, homie. Oh my God, that's funny. So, yo, here's what I want to build on today. Everybody else will accumulate, but have you? What I want to know from you guys, no doubt, no doubt, Gorilla. I want to know from you guys when when I went on Spotify, right? Today with it's is what they consider on Spotify, even on Bandcamp. They do like New Music Friday or Bandcamp Friday or whatever have you, and all of this new music comes out and all of that. What's up, Machiavelli? What's the deal? Right? So that's the deal. Fridays is pretty much a new music day for a lot of these streaming sites. Now here's the question that I want to ask y'all. Do you feel like, and I know it's probably a Captain Obvious question, but do you feel like a lot of the music is miscategorized? And this is what I mean. Like, I like to pay attention to what's going on in different genres. I'm in the music business, and I feel like when you're in any business, you should be able to get a good view of the playing field, right? So I went and I put on new rock, and I gotta tell you, man, I was like confused. Like 3 or 4 songs in, I was like, "Is this rock? Like, I don't get it. Why would either that or rock has evolved to a sound that I was a little lost. Like I was like, what is this? Because it almost sounds, a lot of the stuff that I was hearing was very electronic, which I have no problem with electronic music. I don't personally do electronic music, but a lot of it like almost had a deep electronic sound or like an industrial sound, and I didn't hear anything that I would consider rock. And then they didn't. I guess you got to kind of figure it out, but I didn't see any new metal or anything like that. Right. And that's what I mean, Gorilla. And I was gonna ask y'all about that. Like, do you think that they're right and we're wrong? Or do you think that we're right and these companies just don't really put that much thought into what they're putting together or how things, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how people make it on a Friday list. I don't even know how my songs get on certain lists. I really don't. So uh and I've gotten to that point where it feels like I don't know if it's a program that they have. I know I'm going to sound a little naive about it, but they right, Gorilla, exactly. But it also feels like they're just grabbing stuff because this is the thing that Tommy T is a Norwegian legend. That's what's up. Actually, I think I heard of Tommy T, man. That's crazy. Was that in the 90s, Machiavelli? You gotta let me know. I don't remember. Um, and then going from that subject, like what I said, like it feels like today when I went to the new rock playlist on Spotify, it just felt like a lot of it was miscategorized, right? And then to add to this conversation, okay, Machiavelli, that's what's up. I think I met him during an arsonist tour, but I could be wrong. It's been so long, but the name for some reason sounds super familiar to me. Is he an MC or a DJ? What is he? What is he? Gorilla, that's dope, but let me ask you this. This is where it gets tricky. Who? Yo, I can hear y'all. Oh, I can hear that stutters. Okay, that's what's up, Machiavelli. I think I heard of him. Um, should there be? Because tell me if I'm overthinking this. Should there be an authority putting these things together, like somebody in charge? Like you would hire somebody like a program, like radios used to have program directors, right? So shouldn't there be somebody that actually knows what it is that they're listening to, give it a listen and say, okay, this belongs here. But they're an authority. There's somebody that is trusted by the majority. You know what I mean? Because it just feels a little weird. I like I was a little lost, and then I was almost like I kind of like avoided the new hip hop one because I felt as though I might be a little disappointed in what a company like that might consider hip hop. And then the hip hop category, even with rock, hip hop, a lot of these genres are having issues where like if I talk to like for instance, if I talk to right, Gorilla, that's dope too. Let's say like I'm not a person that knows country music at all, right? But when I talk to a country music fan, they'll say the same thing that we'll say about hip hop or that will be said about metal or rock. It's like, oh, today's, or I don't know what that new stuff is or whatever have you. I like this kind of stuff here. And so, what is the solution to put these things properly where they belong? Would it Is it what I said? Should there be an authoritative figure that knows exactly what they're listening to, who they're listening to, and put it in said category? Or do you just let it be and that's it? Because it just like today, and I've had this discussion before where it's like, you know, matter of fact, it's always with the rock category specifically. When it comes to new hip hop, I guess I kind of go on automatic pilot, and yeah, I know people under the stairs. I know that, and I know them. Um, you know what? I just got to do the test when it comes to hip hop and see what Spotify deems as hip hop because it's such a tricky thing, man. It's so weird, man. It's one of those things where for instance, the most popular radio stations, they'll say this is the home of hip hop and R&B, and then you turn it on, and it's not the hip hop, or it's not hip hop the way we would define it. You know what I mean? So it's like, right, exactly, Gorilla. It's that, and that's why I thought maybe it's just one of those subjects where you can't really approach it because, and I don't know about how many people know this as just general information, but one thing that we discuss in the music business is that there's about check this out. This is a real stat. I'm kind of like in the ballpark. I'm not my numbers aren't going to be exact, but I was told, along with other people, that they upload about 65 to 70,000 new songs a day just on Spotify. We're just talking Spotify. So I'm guessing that the other streaming services are the same. They get a lot of uploads because even if you're an indie artist and you're dealing with distro like CD Baby or TuneCore, when you upload your song, they give you the option to put it in all the streaming services. So you're right. It probably would be insane to have somebody sift through all of that music and try to. It's weird because it's what's funny is when you upload your song, you have to pick your categories, man. So I don't know. The whole thing is just really strange. Right, Gorilla. It is. It is. It's straight up like a mixed salad. You're right. There's no other way to look at it, right? It's just like you got to kind of like I guess, and you know what? If I had to look at what you just said and then looking at my experience today in a more positive light, it's like there is that part of the artist, including myself, that you don't like to be categorized. You just want people to figure it out, or just kind of like just take your sound and your approach and just give it its own planet. So maybe that works hand in hand with them just being, just very general with where they put whatever sounds close to the genre, or how somebody upload, because even when you upload a song, you do get a lot of options, but sometimes I feel like the details kind of miss and it makes it very hard. So right. And for me, I right, and I'm not just a rapper, and I'm not just a guy who does rock. I just consider myself, at this point in my career, a recording artist. I do hip hop and I do rock, and I've done other genres in the past as well. But those are the two that I definitely stay doing. So yeah, you know what? Maybe the fact that it's so loose, and what you just said, it's like everything is so blurred that it just kind of like leaves it in a place where it's up to the listener to decide where they want specific songs or whatever have you. So thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. I really, really, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I gotta go back to the beginning of what I was saying because I'm kind of excited. Finally it looks like gonna get some gigs, putting together the tour package, which is like myself and another artist, and we will probably be starting here in California, Southern California first, and we'll see how the other promoters and booking agents and people of that lifestyle will will how they will acknowledge what we're doing. Um, it's exciting, man. I've been waiting. I've been waiting a little bit. I've been doing like one-offs here and there. I did a couple of shows with Vinny Paz a little bit, and before he retired, and I done Kushstock like 3 times. I got hired for a couple of private parties. So I've been doing shows, but this is a little different. This is like, getting booked. The show's gonna be different for myself. It's gonna be a lot more detail as to what we're doing on stage and stuff. So very excited about all of that. So let's see how it goes, man. Right? That's what's up, Gorilla. Another thing is, so aside from the Rhetmatic qunique album that's coming out next year, where we're almost done, Machiavelli's just name dropping, baby, making sure you get the flowers. I got you, man. I dig that. That's dope, man. That's really dope. Yo, you know what's crazy? I didn't even tell y'all. So earlier this week, I think it was right after I did live from the lab with y'all. I went on TikTok and I ended up being on Apathy's live feed on TikTok. And it was me, Apathy, MC Search, Homegirl. I forgot, she calls herself Afro. I forgot. I f- there was, damn it, there was a few people in the room. Marv One, Doom, The Source. It was like really, really dope. And Czarface is dope, man. Czarface is really dope. So I was on his show and we were talking about the new Nas album, of course. That's the hot topic. And then App played some new songs. Marv One played some new songs. Doom played some stuff he produced, and MC Search played some new songs, man. And everybody, it just felt good and refreshing to hear new music from all of these people. And everybody was on point, and it's exciting, man, because that's funny, Gorilla. Everybody was on point because, and the reason why I say that, yes, Machiavelli, we're gonna have more guests starting next year. I already have two that are slated. I already have three guests slated for like January and February. So we're gonna have more guests on the show starting next year. Um, Sometimes the studio might change. The last time when I did it with Rhett, we did it in my other room and we were up against the record shelf and all of that. That was a cool show. It was a cool like uh, vibe, and to have Rhett cut live and all of that stuff. If y'all remember, it was pretty dope. Robert, what's going on? That's what's up. That's what's up. Vast Air is the homie, man. I've known him for a long time. I remember when that album came out. It was dope. Yeah, Scott's supposed. That's right, Gorilla. You just reminded me. Scott Stallone's supposed to be out here as well, so he would be another one. The guests are gonna definitely accumulate more and more as the time goes on, but definitely started reaching out to people to have some guests and add some more to Live from the Lab, man, because you guys have definitely been the battery for me to keep on going. On top of the fact that uh, expanding the show to guests and different studios and all of that stuff. Yes, yes, I'm looking into that too. I was already talking to C minus about that. I got you, Gorilla. Thank you, thank you. Hey, yo, Stutters, raps and riffs. What's going on? Thank you. Let me get that. Let me get that shirt. Thank you. Yo, man, let me show y'all something, man. I've been plugging this shirt in for a couple of days now. The qunique tag shirt. It's real. It's real. It's like it's crazy because when I looked at the post, it looks like a computer, like some computer shit. You know what I mean? But it's a real shirt, man. Like this, and we're gonna do it limited style. Like I want to do this and then do another different one and another different one, man. So you know, they up at qunique.com, q-unique.com, or the link on my main page. It'll take you right to the website. But man, these shits came out dope, man. Like I did it, and they threw it in the computer, and they did all the vectoring and all of that shit. And it's crazy because you could see you could see the graininess of the marker. Like you see it, like it looks cool. Like it looks really dope. So these are up right now, limited versions of this joint, man. So if you get a chance, go check out qunique.com, hit the shop section, and I appreciate your support, man. And it comes with stickers, a signed poster, all of that good stuff. And we put up the poster bundles on the website and all of that stuff. And when you visit the site, and everything's there, all the podcasts are there, all the new music, videos, everything is on the website. It's always updated. Now, man, raps and riffs. Def Trick Era was crazy. I remember. Yeah, Def Jux was crazy. Elder Head Touch. I got his sticker on my sticker wall, man. That's the homie right there. Yes, it is the one-stop shop. There's a lot of merch on qunique.com, man. So thank you for your support in advance. And obviously, thank you, Gorilla, for setting off the super chats and the super stickers. For those that want to, donate, I greatly appreciate it. And it's all love. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, you know how we do on Fridays, man. Y'all got questions? I'm ready to build. Fridays is a little more loose than Wednesday. Wednesday, I got the book report and all of that good stuff. Fridays, throw me some questions. I'm here to talk. We're here to build. I'll tell you exactly, I do have Cash App. The Far Right is dope. I have Venmo, actually, not Cash App. I have Venmo. The Far Right, I think, didn't the Far Right, he became a school teacher for a hot minute too, right? Or he was a school teacher, something like that. I think I remember that, which I always thought was like ill. Like I thought it was really cool. Jordan, what's the deal? What's going on? What else is going on? So I was talking to App and them, and we were talking about the Nas album and Unspoken Hurt, yep. And then I was building with my homie Skef Anselm today. For those that don't know or remember Skef Anselm, he has been an engineer and a producer for A Tribe Called Quest, the Brand Nubians, MC Search. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I haven't heard that yet, Gorilla. I definitely got to check it out. But I did listen to Apathy's new album called Mom and Dad. I thought that was a really good album, man. Like the production definitely took me to a whole nother place. Wasn't what I expected from App, but it's a solid album. I think one thing that I say about, and you guys could disagree or agree, but one thing I've always felt about the circle that I come from, I guess you would call the underground hip hop circle. I've always felt that the MCs, the lyricists that I came up with have consistently stayed dope. Like for me, and I said this to App and I said this to Vinny Paz today. I always, whenever they're about to release something, right, whether it's self-titled, whether it's Apathy, whether it's Vinny, whether it's Ill Bill, Gore-Tex, Czarface, the list goes on and on and on. I always feel like all of them just always come with their A game. I can't say I've ever heard anything whack from anybody that I mentioned. And it's something that's really cool because I come from that circle, a place where everybody is very meticulous with their music and they don't really miss the mark a whole lot. So thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. And so it was just a dope it's just a dope thing to see. Yeah, Lord Goat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know the deal. I just actually, if y'all didn't know, I released something with Lord Goat about a month ago. It's called Toxic Holocaust. It's streaming everywhere. Shit came out dope, man. So if you get a chance, check that track out. or you could go to qunique.com. The link is up there and all of that. Or just type in qunique, it'll pop up. It's a graffiti train on the cover with like a blue sky on the side and all of that. Yes, yes, zombie bars, man. Me and Goat we went full zombie. Gab Gotchi's the homie too, man. He's a good dude. He's really dope. Y'all see, that's what I mean. See, and that was the point that I was trying to make. Like a lot of the people you guys are mentioning, on top of the handful of people that I mentioned, it feels like we come from this place where lyrics and production, I feel like, are just taken a little more serious than just other circles. I have to say, and it's not just it's not just an East Coast thing, because evidence, you mentioned the Far Eye, evidence dilated peoples, obviously the visionaries, all the homies in the West Coast, homies up in Canada, homies in the Midwest that know this vibe, homies down south that know this vibe, homies across the pond that know this vibe. Everybody that comes from this mentality just approaches it with such a discipline that it's one of those circles that I'm just truly proud and happy to be a part of, man, because you come into this room and you're looking at so many different uh, styles, or maybe not. Maybe the approaches are, to some people, very limited and very small. But either way, I'm just glad that for me and a lot of the people that I'm talking about, that we kind of like looked at the whole big picture and said, I want to go that way. And we did. Exactly, Gorilla. You know the deal. We just have a different approach. And so it just feels dope, man. Every time my homies drop something, I'm just very happy and proud for them, because I know the type of work that they put in to have the type of product that they have. I mean, Vinny dropped an album earlier, and I just told him a few minutes ago. I was like, "Yo, again, your album is sick." You about to go to Gorilla, about to go to planet Zoltan, son. He about to see lots of colors. Oh man, yo. So Cali Agents is the shit. God Send Vengeance is dope. It's dope. The only thing that I get frustrated about, and I've mentioned this a few times, and I won't get into specific stories or anything. It's just, no matter who I'm talking to, when people generalize, whether they say today's hip hop is whack, or this is the top new hip hop, you automatically already know that my whole class pretty much is going to get left out of the conversation. That's something that drives me crazy. That's something that not crazy to a point where I lose focus, but you get a little frustrated, because it's like, it's kind of like not fair. And I don't know if that even matters, but it just, for me, if I had to be a big baby about it, see, equilibrium. So y'all know what I'm talking about. And so it's one of those things where I don't even think, oh, that's what's up, Machiavelli. I don't thank you for educating Machiavelli for reals. Aki Peace, what's good? Um, I don't think there's a solution, because, like y'all said, Gorilla, yes. I feel like there, and I'm probably gonna, so hold up, let me not get ahead of myself. So next year, like I said, I'm gonna have more guests on Live from the Lab. And the other thing to get ready for is that I'm gonna be on Twitch, and I will be doing TikTok Live. And what I've noticed about TikTok Live in particular, when I was on Apathy's show this week, is that you could play shit without getting slapped with the way YouTube will slap you with a copyright, and then it becomes a weird thing, and you have to edit things out, whatever have you. And so, what's dope about me doing TikTok Live is that I'll be able to like play like some of the OG, um, 90s joints that we all know and love, and just like build and maybe play a verse here or a track here, and like just talk about it, and take requests and see what I got, and the whole nine, you know what I mean? Because when I was watching Apathy do it, I was like, man, that's I want to do some of that too. But from my perspective of working at Fat Beats, when I got a chance to hear a lot of like music that has been missed and has been forgotten, and a lot of MCs that only took a shot and then they disappeared. Life be lifing, and the game doesn't wait for everybody. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. Sometimes it's one of those things where you just you'll do your one song, and that's good enough for you. And I can respect that. But that being said, that's one of the new things that I want to do next year, is also do that on TikTok Live, and possibly even Twitch. I have to see what the red tape is on Twitch and see how you can maneuver on it. I know people do play music on there. I just want to be able to play more music, whether it's going through my own catalog or some of my homies, or some track that everybody forgot or maybe you never heard before. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get into that. And so prepare for a lot of new things for 2026 as far as what I'm doing, and I hope all of y'all take the journey with me, man. That'll be so dope. Afro's dope. Is he? I think he's out here, right? He's in the West, I think. Yeah, it'd be dope. I never met homie. I never got to meet him. So it'd probably be cool to be able to meet him, and build, and yeah, like you said, have him up. RA, I know RA the Rugged Man. I'll have him up whenever he's in LA. I know he comes out here often. That's an old homie right there too. I mentioned RA because I think he helped to kickstart Afro's career. So it's pretty cool, Um, yeah, just stay on the lookout, man. Definitely gonna have way more guests, and another thing I'll be doing is a lot more remote shows. Like, I'll probably go visit somebody at their crib, plug in and set the cameras up and have some fun in somebody else's studio and whatever have you. So next year is gonna be a lot more going on top of the fact that I'm releasing a brand new album, qunique Rhetmatic album, where Rhetmatic produced the entire album, did all the cuts. Got a lot of dope guest features on this shit. I'm very excited. I can't unleash it yet, but I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, okay, that's what's up. I got to check that one out too. It's crazy how much hip hop comes out, and it's got to probably be at this point on a daily basis, right? It's got to be that insane. It's like a new hip hop track every day. Have y'all noticed that because I came across this a while ago, but I never brought it up I brought it up to one person in conversation. Did y'all see that Papoose released an album a month for like a year? Did y'all see that? Did anybody get a chance to listen? Any Papoose fans in the chat? Cause that shit blew my mind. That's a grip of work. That's a lot of work. Like, to release an album a month, even though a lot of this shit is done on computer, whatever have you. I just don't. My brain. I could release a song a month, but an album a month. That's 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 crazy discipline right there, man. I don't know if anybody even peeped at. I think I listened to a couple, and it's Papoose. He's got bars, and so it's like he's got that talent, you know. But I don't know if anybody did the deep dive in the chat and listened to any of those. And from what I noticed, what's fascinating is that he named. Right, I hear you, Gorilla, and that's why I was wondering how people, if anybody, listened to it. Ah, see, Jordan, you peeped it. Because what else was dope was what I saw was that each album was named after the month to keep things like organized. And so I was like, wow, that was pretty smart, man. He fucking killed it, man. Like, that's an insane level of lyricism, bro. Insane. Insane level. Insane, man. Like, I write, but not to that point. Not to try to do an album a month. But nah, that ain't me. It ain't me. I like the spread that I have of, doing rock, doing rap, doing the live feeds now, throwing in doing some live shows, and there's other ideas that I want to do on stage as well. So it's like I just don't have that, man. Pat, yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. Anybody that could do something like that, that's a lot. That's a lot on the brain, man. That is crazy. He must. You gotta at that point. You gotta walk around with a little like you know what I mean, like a little laptop, and just be able to plug in. Like if you go out and you're in your hotel room, plug in, get a song done. So salute to Papoose, man. That's quite a staggering. Let me ask y'all something else. Do y'all? Yes, that was a dope one. That alphabetical slaughter was dope, Jordan. That was dope. That was real dope. Right, right, exactly, Machiavelli, exactly. Let me ask y'all this: Did did any of y'all do y'all did any of y'all get a chance to watch when Static Selector and Bun B recorded an album live during a stream? I'm also curious, like, on your thoughts on that. If anybody got to watch that, I also thought that that was amazing as well. Oh, Smooth the Hustler was one of my favorites. That his first album to me is godly. I love that album. There's a clip of me rhyming with Smooth and Trigger on DJ Eclipse's show. I don't know if Eclipse ever put it on made a MP4 of it or whatever, but there's a clip of me rhyming with them on Eclipse's show, man. I probably got to ask Eclipse for it, man, because that was one of my favorite moments being on Eclipse's show, man. The halftime radio show back in the day, man. Nine is dope too. Nine is really dope. He did y'all listen to the Nine album that what was the homie's name? Fucking who produced the last Nine album? Anybody remember? That's crazy. Ustream. I remember that shit. That Crazy Legs used to use Ustream for his show. He used to have a show called Lunch Breaks where he would have guests come on, make lunch, and he'd be spinning hip hop and whatever have you. It was a dope show. It was a dope concept, man. He was doing that shit on Ustream. He was killing it. Really, really, really dope concept. Stu Bangers. Stu Bangers produced that Nine album. Did anybody peep the Stu Bangers Nine album? I'm curious of how you felt about that. Stu Bangers usually has heat all the time. So yes, Machiavelli. Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I gotta ask Eclipse, man. I gotta see if he still has that clip, man. Man, that was a lot of fun. He is a dope producer. I got to rhyme on two Stu Banger tracks. I did the intro for his Faces of Death joint, and then he produced Ignorant Genius on my Mechanic album. So I was able to rhyme on two Stu tracks. Stu is really dope. I like sometimes that he'll flip like a hair metal sample, like kill it. Like he get that's dope because that's not easy to do. So he definitely gets major props for doing some wild shit like that. Gemini, yo, rest in peace, Gemini, the gifted one, man. Salute. I got to meet Gemini through my homie Freestyle from the Arsonist. Rest in peace. Man, that was a quiet one. Not a lot of people knew that he passed away, and You know, he's also Brooklyn royalty, and he was a good dude, man. He was dedicated to the craft. Um, you know, I think he put out an album. I would have to look it up. He had you gotta go to his Spotify or whatever have you, you know. Yeah, Ill Bill be, but Ill Bill, yes, Ill Bill be, Ill Bill got beats, man. Ill Bill, how many? I forgot how many tracks, but there's one track he did. Narcotics, yes. Ill Bill produced a track on my Legacy series. It's called Oh, Oh. Ill Bill produced that track. Uh, I don't know if it's on Legacy Series 1 or 2, but he produced that track for me. So if you get a chance to check it out. So which one got shelved? Uh, Eric, what got shelved? The Gemini, the EP. Are you talking about the EP that he put out in the 90s? I have that shit on vinyl, man. Yeah, man. Yo, I actually also produced a track for AOTP. I did a remix joint for one of their joints. I gotta ask Vinny if that shit came out, man. Yeah, Gemini, man. Thank y'all for bringing up Gemini, man. I remember having his shit and just listening to a lot. I always thought he was dope, man. I have his debut vinyl. I have it. So you're probably right. It probably just came out in Europe, but at that time I was running around with like DJ Tony Touch and Spin One, so I would get a lot of promo joints. And in fact, J5 is, did you know that Jurassic 5 and the Arsonist were gonna battle? The Hot 97 drama. Now, I normally don't talk about drama, so let me preface that by saying that, look, I look, I don't celebrate when people lose. I don't. I don't celebrate, even if it's somebody I can't stand or somebody that just I don't really care for. I don't celebrate people losing. That's just where I'm at. And so I I just think that coming from an honest, that's what's up. Thank you, Raps and Riffs. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll make sure I sign some shit. Thank you. Um, I'll talk about the J5 arsonist shit in a second. I'm just addressing what he asked. So Machiavelli, that's the thing that I was gonna get at. Look, I'm not gonna diss the radio station because I've had moments up on Hot 97, and I've had friends work up there, and they never, look. At the end of the day, this is what I feel. I just feel like because we have Spotify and we have uh, Apple Music and Amazon. It's just that's where it's really at. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. You know, the same way we seen print magazine just fade off into the sunset is the same when I look at radio, terrestrial radio. I'm like, I mean, it's cool that people are still employed by it, but I mean, who's really listening to radio? So to me, it's like those people that got let go of their jobs, first of all, they got a fan base, which means that they could just get on YouTube Live. They could go on Twitch. They could, fucking Fat Joe and the Drink Champs, I think, or whatever have you. They all got signed by Netflix. And so it's like, you know, there's opportunities. It's like it's time to move on. And so even though it looked like it went down really foul, at the same time, I'm not gonna shit on it. It's like, it's the business. Everybody gets punched in the face. in this business. I've gotten punched in the face several times, metaphorically speaking, you know? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Flex is like a boss, or he is a boss up there. So it's like that's what I don't expect anything else. And much props to Flex for being able to hold it down this long. He and I, we don't, I don't, out of all the people I've ever met, all the time that I've been in this biz, me and him never even had a conversation. You know, so I, but I still I wish anyone the best. I'm not here to shit on anybody. You know, that's just how I play this game. And that's that. So now getting to the arsonist Jurassic 5 thing, and it's not really a big story. We were supposed to battle at the B-Boy Summit that happens in California, and we were definitely getting ready because we knew that J5 they were a tight crew. They just, to me, when I first watched them, before we even had an idea, or I forgot who sparked the whole battle, because it wasn't us. Somebody else kind of like, y'all should battle, and they were trying to figure it out. But I know when I saw Jurassic 5 and when I met them, the first thing I thought about is this is easily one of the tightest live performances I've ever seen. And they had two of the best DJs in their crew. So it's like, geez, bro, you know what I mean? Like, but, and I'm not saying but in a sense of who I thought was better, but equally, the Arsonists, we had a very solid show. Our live performance is what pretty much gave us a career. We sold records. We definitely sold records, but people wanted to see us. We just had something dope for stage. We used to rehearse. We used to choreograph shit. We were, we didn't fuck around when it came to live performances. So it would have been a fascinating, fun battle, to do that. But it is what it is, and it didn't happen. And much blessings to the J5 family, and blessings to my own arsonist family, and that's that. I'm taking questions, y'all, so throw them up. Yeah, man. Charlie has what I like about Charlie is that I be hearing him on like all types of like different styles of music. I think he was on the Ozone Motley shit. I've heard him on some other jazzy stuff. Obviously, you hear him on hip hop stuff. Like, he explores the space, man. You know what I mean? So salute to Charlie, man. He's I love that because he's definitely got an open mind to where he's gonna go with it. You know what I mean? So peace and salute to Charlie Tuna, man. You know what I mean? Yes, Gorilla. Yes. We definitely gonna have to do some sort of holiday review, like in a sense of uh, going over some holiday like cuts, not just hip hop. I got to explore different genres and see who came up with some fascinating. So I'll have my homework cut out for me. I'll probably for next Wednesday, I'm probably gonna have to you know put together a dope I Long Beach Dubs, Little Brother. Little Brother is dope. I never worked with Yak Balls, but I met him. He and I were homies back in the day during the Fat Beats, and I think he worked at Footwork at that time. So we were all cool, and he was one of the releases on Fondle him as well. Yak is dope. I haven't heard his stuff in a while. I'm not even, I'm not sure where he's at, but he was dope, man. He was definitely, he had bars, man. Another dude that has bars that people are aware of, but I feel like you got to dig for all of us, is this homie named Lil Vic from Long Island. He's dope. He's dope production wise, and he's dope bar wise. He's a talented kid. When it comes to hip hop, I definitely give him props, man. Oh, okay. I got to check that out. Um, yeah. So Lil Vic is dope. Rome Streets is dope. Y'all gotta definitely do a little dive. If you haven't like checked for Rome Street shit, you gotta check it. Yo, Curly in the live. Now was mentioned. Heavy peep. No, I haven't peeped it. I haven't peeped it. Is that the one? So Jordan? Is that the one where? Yes, yes. Thank you, Gorilla. So that one you just mentioned, Jordan, is that the one where they just posted a clip of Al Scratch rhyming and like the caption is like Al Scratch is back or some shit like that. Is that the same cipher you're talking about? Because if that's that, I definitely got to check it out because it was dope to see Al Scratch, just going for it as so I think that's the same thing if we're talking about that. Like nine, we in the building. What's going on in Mondo? What's the deal? What is the deal? Salute, Mondo. Salute to you. Salute to you. Um, and then we were just talking about Rome Streets, and I was thinking about Griselda, and my favorite West Side Gun albums is Fly God. I think that's a masterpiece. Supreme Blind Tell and Pray for Paris. Those three. I mean, he's got a lot of shit, but those three, I like those three a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. But let me ask y'all this: what's your favorite Conway joint, and what's your favorite Benny joint? Thank you, Jordan. Yeah. So I'll have to check the rest of it. But thank you for that. Thank you for pointing that out. Do any of y'all have a favorite Conway the Machine album? I want to know which one it is. I want to see if if I missed something. And then do any of y'all have a favorite Benny the Butcher joint? I want to know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments, man. Um, Aside from that, um, the other thing that I was discussing today was, and I also wanted to get y'all's opinion on this. From king to a god. Okay, I dig it. That's the shit. I dig it. Let me ask you this: how many of you like when a rapper that you know, the blank mixtape from Conway? Okay. Oh snap! Milkbone. Milkbone is dope. Jojo Pellegrino's dope too, man. He definitely gets my respect. Salute to Jojo. I never met homie, but he's been dropping bars for decades at this point. Like evil runaway. That's dope. Um, I want to ask y'all a question of y'all opinion. What do y'all feel about a rapper that you like getting on stage with a live band to go through their to do a show versus just having a DJ playing the instrumentals? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer a rapper that you want to see? Do you want to see him with a whole band playing through it? Could you appreciate it? Do you like it, or do you want strictly the instrumentals that you've heard, that you've listened to, and that's the only way you want to see that rapper on stage? I'm curious. I'm curious because I'm playing with a lot of ideas for next year for my live shows, and I never really got to ask an audience that question, because I know it could be tricky. Sometimes it gets lost, man. Okay, that's dope, Gorilla. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Thank you, Imando. Raps and riffs. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to hear. I like bands, but I used to perform with one. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, because I've been toying with the idea for next year when I start doing shows about having like, a drummer, a keyboard player, and all of that stuff. Oh wait, what are you saying, Machiavelli? Ambo, but I can't go wrong either way. Okay, that's dope. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Machiavelli. Yeah, because I've been toying with the idea, and in my case, what I would do is like have the element of the drummer and either a keyboard player, bass player, whatever, but then going back and forth between, you know, performing one song with the band and then going into an instrumental for maybe more of the more popular songs and just having fun that way. So if I got on stage and let's say I'm doing no doubt, Amando, exactly. Let's say I'm doing the song One Shot. I think most people want to hear my song One Shot with the original instrumental or the setup or something like that. Whereas more of the newer stuff, I feel like I could get away with throwing a live. It depends, it depends on how much a song is loved and what and how the live band can translate the song. That's what I'm gathering from looking at your responses. But I'm definitely toying with the idea because I know that the person that I might be touring with also has to consider whether they're going to use a live band or just instrumentals as well. So we're both kind of like looking at the situation and saying, so how do we approach this? So as you can see, the pieces are starting to come together. And like I said, I just hope that this little run that we're going to do here in California, I hope that we could just start going, to different states and eventually different countries. So, oh, that's crazy, Machiavelli. I like that. I like that idea, man. That's a good idea. DJ Laura, yes, there you go. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what's crazy, Machiavelli? So I have I have a band, a project called. It was once called King's Bounty, and then it turned in. We changed the name to Soul Gun, but it's the same band, same members. And when we had the name King's Bounty, we went on tour with La Coca Nostra, and we opened up the show as King's Bounty with rock, like straight up, because King's Bounty or Soul Gun, it's straight up rock, like heavy alternative rock. Um, but in the middle of the set, because my band members, they're aware of La Coca Nostra, they're aware of who I am as qunique. We covered. Thank you, Armando. Thank you so much. We covered One Shot with live instrumentation. Like they played like One Shot starts with the piano bang 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 bang, but instead they played guitar and bass and it was dope, man. That's another one that I got to see if there's a clip somewhere on one of my hard drives. I think there's an actual recording of it, like that. So I gotta find that shit. I gotta release that shit, right? The rockish version of One Shot. It's not like a metal version or anything like that. It's just like One Shot, but with like electric guitar, bass, drums, and all of that good stuff. Let me see if I can find it, man. Jeez, that's on an old hard drive, I think. But yeah, we did that. We opened up for La Coca Nostra, and it was funny. I know a lot of y'all notice I got long hair. My hair is really long. So when we went out with La Coca, my hair was down. And it was funny because the audience that La Coca fans, some of them kind of know who I am. So I would get on stage with the long hair and a band, and a lot of people would be looking at me puzzled, like, is that? And I'd be like, yo, hold on. I would say shit like, I know y'all are looking at me right now, like, who is this person and what have you done to Q Unique? Like, because they were confused. I'm like, yo, it's me, it's Q. and they would start laughing and shit. And then we would go into, that's when we would go into one shot. I definitely got to, Eric. You know, a lot of people didn't realize there is an album that I did. CK Jones. Is that homie that used to be down? Is that the dude that used to be in La Coca Nostra in the beginning? Is that the same CK? Am I getting that right? Yes. Yeah, I met him. I met him, but I didn't really have a lot of dialogue with him. I didn't get to really build with him. It was, I think I met him in the studio or something like that. But the Big Left days, yes. So, but I didn't really get to build with him like that. So you know, I don't have any stories or anything that I could share. Be like, yo, yeah, homie, just didn't, you know, we didn't get to really build. But so I was getting at it because my man Eric said drop it. Now a lot of people don't know. In my catalog, there's an album. There is an album called Medina Bridge. It's qunique and Iron Mike, and the name of the album is Medina Bridge. On that album, for lack of a better term, it's like a rap rock album. But what we did was we covered a lot of qunique songs. Like we did Crack Era, Heavy. We did Listening Problem. Uh, Geez, it's been so long since I've even reviewed that album. We did Brooklyn, Bronx, Brooklyn. Um, we covered a few qunique songs, and we did a few new ones. So if you dig that vibe, check that album out. It's one of my releases. It came out, geez, maybe 7 to 9 years ago. I think maybe 9. But yeah, it's called Medina Bridge, qunique and Iron Mike. And you know, I think my favorite song, my favorite song that we covered on there was Cracker. I love the way that came out uh, as a heavy song. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's a cool joint. Yo, again, don't forget the new qunique tag, the new qunique tag shirts, limited. They are out right now. You go to qunique.com. Shit is crazy too, man, because it's got that grainy marker look to it. Looks sick, right? Um, it's on qunique.com, q-unique.com, or you can hit the link in my shit and Spanish who? Spanish Ran, who's produced tracks for UFO Fab, and he did baptism. I'm gonna have to check out his work, man. I'm gonna have to check out his work for sure, man. I gotta see what's going on with that. Thank you for that. And I still gotta check out Coyote too, as well. So I'm a little behind. Like today, after Apathy asked me, I went to go listen to his album. So I'll definitely get it. All right, Machiavelli, have yourself a good weekend, man. Yeah, thank you for being there. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Um, Gorilla, thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you so much. Thank you. Salute to you, baby. Thank you. Um, there's so many new dope producers that are out right now, but there's still producers that have been around for a little bit that I definitely would love to work with. Just Blaze is like still number one for me. And I don't just want one song. Like I want album work. Like, and I know I'm asking for a lot, but he's just been one of my favorites for a very, very, very long time. And the other dude that, so there's two more on Black Milk. I think he's dope. And man, I just thought, oh, Odyssey. I think Odyssey is really dope. Um, those three producers have been uh, some of the producers that I've been wanting to work with for a while. Who knows? We'll see. I know I have 2 albums slated next year, and one of them is totally produced by Rhetmatic. So very excited about that as well, man. So stay tuned for that, man. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much for the support. Salute to you. Thank you. Thank you. These are going to be limited, man. Like I said, we're going to go design for design. There's other shirts on the site that you could cop. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, Jordan. So when I was on Apathy's live feed this week, he had asked me to check it out. So today I just gave a little time to listening to that album, and it is a solid album. You know, it's he definitely went down an interesting avenue, and he's got the homie Lil Vic with him, and the other homie that was kind of new to me. But Lil Vic was somebody I was building with about a couple of years ago because I was gonna, see what's up with his production because his beats are crazy. So let's see what happens. I'm kind of like a little backed up because, like I said, I'm finishing the album with Rhetmatic right now, and then I'm jumping into another album with another producer that I don't want to say yet. I'm very excited at the potential of this, and we're gathering everything and starting to get that engine started. So, but I'm just know that there's gonna be a lot of qunique music next year, man. I'm very excited about it. And truth be told, one major reason why is because of y'all. And I'm not just saying that on some cliche shit. I'm not. I'm saying this because y'all motherfuckers show up and show so much love that it just compels me to put more work in. You know what I mean? Y'all show me love. That's what most artists want, right? I think anybody that's doing their passion wants to get that love. So thank y'all for being the fuel, the batteries, the whatever. Thank you so very much. I truly and greatly appreciate it more than you could ever imagine. Because you got to understand, man, this shit is a lonely road, especially when you're a solo artist. It's a lonely road, man. You kind of like looking around and I guess I don't even know what the truth of the number is though, Gorilla. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't need the big machine. You definitely don't. I don't know what the number is. I know that right now dealing with y'all has been a blessing and it's been beautiful. It's been eye-opening. Like this is a new experience for me, like y'all know this. I haven't been doing live feeds. This is just episode 6 of the Friday one. And for if Live from the Lab is only up to episode 24, man. I just buy them. So the hats, I just get them whenever I come across certain shops. Like for the Beat Junkies, um, I go to their school, and so they sell their hats there. So you might want to check their website. This one is my homie's company, his cannabis company. So I'd be repping for them, especially because they're the ones that got me to perform at Kush Stock a million times already, and his product is amazing, and he's a good friend of mine. So, and I'm always just like constantly on the lookout for a new hat. So I don't think I have a lot of hats, but I'm always on the constant lookout just to shake things up with a brand new hat. So, but it's always just visiting things. Sometimes, that late night shit when you puff a little weed and you start scrolling, you start seeing like the shop shit come up. I got an itchy trigger finger. Oh, I'm buying that, buying that, buying. I'll be having all types of shirts and hats and toys, like music toys. You know what I mean? Oh my God, man, it's so crazy, man. Right, Mondo? It's like you get a little weeded, and then all of a sudden you're like, let's go shopping, Instagram. Oh my God. And sometimes I have to stop myself. Certain things will stop me in the process, but sometimes I have to stop myself. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The other thing that weed does for me, man, and I'm sure it does it for most of y'all, it enhances my listening in a sense of like if I smoke weed and let's say I put on, West Side Gun's Fly God, my ears will hear it way different than when I'm sobered up. Like way different. Matter of fact, trip on this. I don't normally do this. Sometimes I'll just throw on some random shit, right? So last night I was puffing and I went to my phone, and for some reason, you know that classic rock band Chicago, obviously, right? I gotta check that out, Gorilla. I gotta try that. So that, you know, the classic rock band Chicago, obviously they've sold a gajillion records. They got some massively big hits. So yesterday I was I got weeded, and for some reason their song Beginnings came up on my phone. So here I am on my fucking balcony. I press play. I'm weeded, and yo, son, enhanced experience. Like I was just listening to this band, and I was like, my brain. First of all, I'm absorbing all of these sonics, and Chicago is a band that uses horn. They have a horn section, guitars, drums, percussion. Like they were a massive band. They were huge. And so you're listening to this song, and the first thing I thought of is like, this shit is fucking incredible. Like musically, the instrumentation is incredible. And what made it even more incredible for me, I know I'm going on a weed tangent, even though I'm not even weeded yet. What made it more incredible for me is that they recorded that shit in the 70s. So that means there's no computer, it's just tape, there's no auto-tune, there's no Pro Tools, so you can't move your shit on beat, make sure everything is locked in. You just gotta be fucking good. That's it. You have to be good at, you have to be great to be in a band like Chicago or the other bands that we could bring up like classic rock. And so that thought like fucking like stood with me for a minute. I was like, do you know how hard it is that when you listen to a band like Chicago, if you listen to that song I'm talking about, or whatever other big song that they have, or maybe Pink Floyd, or, you know, a band that was so locked in that you can hear the levels of fucking genius. And you're just like, they had to do this shit like for real, for real. They couldn't cut and paste and move the chorus twice. They had to like sing that shit twice, you know? And so that shit makes it almost like even more incredible. Yeah, Genesis, Yes is another band that's like that, where you're just like, holy shit. And that just shows you that's the difference. And even in hip hop, because early hip hop was the same, there were no computers. You got to remember that. It was tape. When KRS, Kane, Rakim was doing their thing, Run DMC, Sugar Hill, Grandmaster, that's all tape. That's tape. You know, that's a different discipline. It's a way different discipline, man. You cannot cut and paste, and you can't move your shit on the grid to lock it in. Not saying that's a bad thing. I use a computer. I use Pro Tools, but I come from the tape era. When I was in the Nomads, when I was an arsonist, we had tape. It eventually evolved to Pro Tools, but we all started on tape. So I know what that shit was like. I had to be locked in all the time. But when you listen to a band with horns and fucking bass and guitar and drums and, you know, all types of percussive instruments, you just like, and it sounds perfect. It's like they must have rehearsed a million times to be able to even play on that level. And so I was just blown away. And that's my weed tangent. I'm not even weedy yet, but that's how I felt yesterday listening to. That's how my brain goes. Yes, they were. Yes, you get it, Jordan. They were just, and that's the thing, built different, way different, man. That's what's up, Imando. They just built different. They just do that shit. If y'all smoke weed and listen to the song I'm talking about, man. Yo, raps and riffs, all of y'all, listen to the song I'm talking about. It's called Beginnings by Chicago. Smoke some weed and just play that fucking song. It's going to, you're going to trip out because you're going to think what I just told you, I hope, which is they had to play this shit through. There's no computer where you could stop punch. Like you could punch in on tape, but it's not the same action as a computer. Computer just makes it ridiculously easy. Ridiculously easy. Right. And Eric, so Eric, when you mess up on tape, you either got to start over or they splice, which is a fucking shit show of a hard thing to do. So, I mean, look at the, like, if you've been paying attention to the Beatles anthology, they release so many different versions of a song because they're showing you how many takes before they get it right. That's how the discipline was, man. That's crazy. Exactly. Studio time was crazy, crazy. And so, and I know, you know, my passion is kicked up because it was just such a, it's been an experience lately where I'll smoke some weed and I'll just sit on my balcony and I'll play something that I know is going to give like this intense instrumentation of something. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll throw on some hip hop because I just want to hear where the MC is going with my brain being in that state. Like I said, the last one I did was I played the whole Fly Guard album. And I was like, fuck, this shit is dope. This shit is so fucking good. Like West Side Gun came with it. Like everything about this, every day make money and pray Gustavo. Like that shit is that I love that shit. Like that whole shit is dope, man. That's my weed tangent for this evening. Pardon my weed passion, listening ears. Oh my God, yo. Anyway, y'all, it's been real hanging with y'all. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me this evening. It means a great deal that we meet up twice a week, and I know some of y'all names now, and I really appreciate y'all time, taking the time out to just hang and build and shoot the shit. Gorilla, yo, you funny, man. So also, once again, don't forget, the qunique tag shirts are out. The qunique tag shirts are out right now on qunique.com, q-unique.com. They'll be limited until the next design. But thank you guys once again. Thank you for the super chats and super stickers. Salute to every single one of y'all. Have an amazing weekend. Spread love. Stay safe. You know what I mean? Thank you, Charisma. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. And thank you, Imando. Thank you. Thank you, Gorilla. Thank you, Raps and Riffs. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Machiavelli. Thank all of y'all for reals, man. And have a beautiful evening. And I'll see y'all on Wednesday for the holiday special, the Live from the Lab holiday special. My man Robert, my man Eric. Salute to all of y'all, man. Have a beautiful weekend. Peace.